Ta-da, we're live with the second skill for success. This is part of 10 skills that these are skills that are very difficult for you to learn, but they pay off in life. And I'm taking it to how they pay off in martial arts. And when it comes to martial arts training, you need to be honest with yourself. I think a lot of us have trouble being honest with ourselves in the martial arts. I know sometimes I have. Like, I've been known to try to take on more classes than I can handle and still feel rested. Try to overtrain and try to train like, I'm a professional fighter when I'm clearly not. But I think we need to be honest with ourselves in terms of how much we can really afford to pay and how much punishment our bodies can take. Now, a lot of us, we like to say that pretty much every style is for everyone. But if we're honest with ourselves, especially in the beginning, we need to take an assessment of our health and then figure out what type of exertion and punishment we can take at the time we're signing up for a martial arts class. Like, for example, if you know you have a lot of extreme leg injuries, do you want to take WTF Taekwondo if you know it's something that prides itself on a lot of kicks? In terms of being honest with yourself, do you want to go to a dojo, dojang, or gym where they have strict attendance requirements, where they want you to show up 3, 4, 5 times a week? Be honest with yourself and know up front that you can't meet those kind of requirements. Because when you sign up for stuff like that and you start deluding yourself, you only end up frustrating yourself and you only end up frustrating your instructor. Now, one thing I will commend some people, even though they used to irritate me when they did it, and I think I may have mentioned this in another one of these series of videos, is people who are honest with themselves about the fact that they don't want to be an instructor. They just want to learn. If you just want to learn and you don't want to be an instructor, be honest with yourself. Just say, hey, I want to take classes, I want to learn. Now, I suspect that some people may not promote you to black belt if they don't think you're ever going to be an instructor. But when it comes to your overall martial arts journey in the long run, you are in charge of it. So you need to be honest with yourself. Stop and think for a minute, honestly, if you care, whether your style is liked by most people or not, what you want to take up. If you want to be seen as cool with what you're studying, then you're going to have to figure out what the quote-unquote the cool styles are and study those. Because if I'm going to be honest with myself, there are some people that they're never going to like some of the stuff I've studied. They may never even like some of the people I've trained with, and that's okay. I like it, so I do it. And think about how important martial arts really are in your life. Is this something that you feel like you could just do forever, at any time, all the time? If you have that kind of dedication to your martial arts journey, then be honest with yourself. And think about what things you're willing to sacrifice in order to obtain your martial arts goals and what things you are not. Like jobs and family. Yes, it can get that scary at times. But you need to be honest with yourself and think about how bad do you really want to accomplish your goal. Whether your goal is just to have some fun, to be a black belt, to be an advanced black belt, be some kind of master or grandmaster, be a really serious competitor, go to the national level, go to the Olympic level, be a professional fighter, be a professional instructor, just teach self-defense. Be honest with yourself. Stop and think about what you really want to do. I hope you won't become a street fighter, but again, if you want to take it to a dark place, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Because at the end of the martial arts journey, and at the end of your life, you're only going to have you that you're going to have to look at. You and whatever God that you believe in. So be honest with yourself. So I would say the last area, I know the area I need to be honest with myself is the fact that I'm getting older. I'm not old yet, but I'm not young. No matter how many times people older than me tell me that I'm young, I'm not young when it comes to stuff that's athletic. So I have to set realistic expectations. I have to push myself without trying to kill myself so that I can't learn anything more. And with me, I have to be honest with myself and go, there's this I want to do, there's that I want to do, but I have work commitments, I have family commitments, you know, I have my marriage I need to think about. So I have to be honest with myself and really take the time and figure out when I'm going to do what in terms of training and in terms of teaching. So let's be honest with ourselves, people. It's hard to do. It's hard for any person to be honest with themselves, look themselves in the mirror and see where their shortcomings are. So a lot of this too, I think, is what cross-training had attempted to address. You know, like if strikers were honest with themselves, they had a hole when it came to grappling. If grapplers are honest with themselves, you know there's a hole when it comes to striking. Okay? And that's another thing. And I'm going to close. What are you really taking the martial arts for? If you want to be a well-rounded martial artist, then you know, hey, I'm going to have my home-based style, but then I'm going to study like everything else when time comes in order to fill the weaknesses. But if you're honest with yourself, if you really just care about self-defense, you really just care about protecting yourself, you only need one style, to be honest, and be honest with yourself. You only really need to study one style seriously and take it from there. Because if you're honest with yourself, you don't care about de-escalation. You don't care about, you know, I want to find a way to protect myself and not inflict harm. If you honestly just care about protecting yourself from danger, then you need to train that way. So be honest with yourself and make sure that what and how you do your training aligns up with the things that you want in life. Okay? And once you're honest with yourself, you're going to know how much you're willing to pay, how much you're not willing to pay, how far you're willing to drive, how far you're not willing to drive, who you're willing to train with, who you don't want to train with, what you want to study and what you don't want to, and how you want to implement it in your life. So, this is skill number 2, being honest with yourself. 10 skills that are good in life and that manifest themselves in martial arts. I said I was going to stop, but there's one more thing that just came to mind. Be honest with yourself about what techniques you can do, what techniques you can't. Because once you do that, if you're going to compete, you know how to build your game plan. You build your game plan around your strongest techniques. Some people even build a game plan around their strongest technique. They work on setting it up and sparring. Peace.